Victoria Grant here, personal development coach and author, and welcome to another episode of Victory Granted TV. Before we jump into today's video, please go ahead and click the link in the description box below for your free ebook, The 7 Habits of a Queen. Just enter your email address and you can access that straight away. As well as that, you'll be added to the Victory Granted mailing list so that whenever I send out useful personal development resources, you'll be the first to know. Okay, now I know that there are lots of you out there, me included, who are on this lockdown with kids, and even though they're the love and the light of our lives, they can drive us literally out of our minds, okay? Now, I've got a toddler, she's 2 years wise, and maybe it's just me because her dad and I are no longer together, but it's really testing on so many levels, like my patience, my tolerance. There's only so many activities and walks and entertaining you can do, right? Naturally, we're all going to get bored sometimes, and it just seems like those times of boredom have been magnified by 10 right now. And so I thought I'd better get on here and check in with my yummy mummies and see how you're holding it down during these different times, and just to say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I'm sending you so much love and respect, because being a mum or a dad, a single one, it's not the easiest, and every day that we manage to get through without absolutely losing the plot completely is a blessing. I truly believe that we choose our parents before we're born, as well as our names, our location where we're born, our birthdays, etc. And I feel like we do this and our kids do this because there's something that we're here on a mission on earth to discover and unleash, that we're going to need that specific set of, parameters for. Now, that being said, there are times when I'm going to feel guilty or selfish for just wanting to take a moment for myself, and I'm sure you can relate. For instance, my little girl wakes up around 6 a.m. and from the minute her eyes open, she wants to play. And she has got the Paw Patrol toys in my face, and she's aggressive, she's shouting, she's trying to lift open my eyes with her little small fingers and just demanding that I play with her. And I'll admit, 9 times out of 10, right, I'm not ready. Like, I want to ease myself out of sleep and take a minute to just be. So she gets upset because I'm not jumping to her beat. And now I'm upset because I'm tired and I'm cranky. Now, that's just one scenario, but I've realized that I shouldn't feel guilty, and neither should you. Like I said, children choose their parents, right? And so she knew coming into this relationship that I was no Mary Poppins. Well, not all the time anyway. And I think that as parents, we do need to just give ourselves a break and know that perfection is an illusion. And at the end of the day, as long as we're showing up as our best selves, we're not harming these kids in any way, us not bending to their each and every request is okay. You have to remember, right, that you can only ever do your best, and your best is always good enough. It's so easy to start to just feel overwhelmed and stressed out when there seems to be way too much going on at any time, The kids want what they want, but then you still have to get to these shops. And now you have to stand in queues and trip over toys everywhere. And maybe you're worrying about work situations and family members, right? You're trying to work on your own goals and aspirations and cook and clean and all the rest of it on a daily basis. And that can kind of cause resentment and even lead to depression if you're not careful. So it's so important to just still fit some time in for self-care, even when all of this stuff is going on. And I think the best way to do this that I find is to just plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail in my eyes. And if you really think about it, if the kids were in school or nursery, their days would be planned out, and that should still be the case, even on lockdown. Now, I know there's going to be times when you might have to switch it up and a few things have to get moved around for whatever reason, right? However, if you can plan your days from maybe the night or the week before, like on a Sunday, for instance, and then just revise the plan each night, then your head will feel so much lighter. So on my daily plan, I would write down everything that I want to achieve the following day in my journal so that I can refer to it during the day, kind of like a guide. Now, first and foremost in the mornings, I like to have at least 5 minutes to myself to meditate and set the intention for the day, set my mood, set my tempo, etc. In an ideal world, obviously, I do this before even getting out of bed, but with a toddler, that's not always going to be easy or realistic. So I'll get her breakfast, grab myself some water, and then once she's occupied for 5 minutes, I'll use that time to meditate. And just by clearing my mind, I can choose to begin the day on like a positive note, listen to some motivational speeches as well once I've meditated, and set an intention so that I choose to react to every situation in kindness and compassion, for instance. Once I've done that, I'll grab my journal, scan over the plans for the day. I'll always make sure that I get at least 30 minutes exercise as well. My daughter usually joins in or just disturbs me the whole way through, but I still commit to those 30 minutes. After that, I'll take a cold shower just to help with inflammation and a heap load of other benefits that you can find out much more about from so many videos here on YouTube, if that's something that you're interested in. And yeah, that's really my self-care routine every morning. From then on, I'll schedule out time to play with my daughter, make food, get some fresh air, tidy up. I usually do any work that I've got to get done in the evening and nighttime when she's asleep, as you can see. That way, I'm just not disturbed. She doesn't feel like I'm neglecting her as well. And I also think it's important as well just to get yourself and the kids dressed and ready for the day, even when you're not leaving the house, as it just kind of sets that tone and tricks your brain into believing it's time to be up and alert rather than just hanging out in your pajamas all day. I don't know, I just kind of prefer to stay fresh and dressed. It gives me that sense of achievement and save the pajamas for the bedtime. So I know it's hard and it might sound like a lot, but for me, I need that balance of healthy mind, healthy body, spirit, and relationship with my daughter. I like to set my objectives for the year and then create goals that I want to accomplish every month. And I always cover each area of my life. However, there will be one area that dominates. And for me this year, it's all about growing my business and brand awareness and just creating content for you guys, you know, through my channel, my blog, and working on anything that has to do with Victory Granted. And just because there's no nursery doesn't mean that I can slack off and not meet my objectives. And so when you don't have the resources, you have to be resourceful. I waited until my 30s to have my daughter, so I feel like I've had quite a few lions during my life. So if I have to sacrifice some sleep or anything else really at this point to make these dreams a reality, then so be it. I've proven time and time again to myself that when I'm fully dedicated and filled with, you know, laser focus and positive belief, I always manifest my desires. And during the lockdown with kids, you are going to need something that is just for you, not the kids, you. If it's a course that you want to take, learn a new skill or business you know you should launch, maybe it's the dream body you should be working on, you know, a full makeover, a house makeover, whatever. Okay, this is the time to do it. And if that means that you lose a few hours sleep, so be it. There should never be an excuse that comes between you and fulfilling your desires, because when you're not working on the things that bring you that sense of joy, you become bitter and you can easily then use the kids as a target to take out your frustrations on, and that's just not fair. I know it's stressful, I know it's hard, and if you have to scream and cry, then do it. Get it out of your system, but don't dwell on it. Trust me, it's so much easier to focus on these kids and enjoy the lockdown together when you know that you're also smashing some of your personal goals, right? And just winning at being the best version of you. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've created an ebook. It's called The 7 Daily Habits of a Queen, and you can access it and read it at your own leisure just by clicking the link in the description box below. It's absolutely free, and it basically lists the top 7 habits that I found useful to help me become happier and healthier in both my mind and my body. So please go and check that out. I really do believe that working on becoming the best you can possibly be has to be the purpose of life, right? Because no matter where you find yourself, you're always launching rockets of desire and reaching for that next level, the next version of who you are. I know that for me, especially now I'm a mum, I always want to be a great role model for my daughter. And that means that I have to be willing to sacrifice some things, sacrifice some places, even some people, some relationships, if I don't feel like they're providing value in my life. And I think that is what maturity is all about. That's what growth is all about, you know, being able to make those hard decisions and sometimes be selfish. And I know I keep coming back to this, but as a single parent, having to wear multiple hats at any one time, we can't afford to just drop the ball and get caught slipping, because we are literally all they have, right? We're the backbone of the household, and if we don't hold it together, then who will, you know? And that's why I'm so passionate about personal development, because I know what we are truly capable of as human beings when we decide that there is no excuse and just commit to putting in 100% all the time. So don't let this lockdown and these crazy kids keep you from manifesting your dreams. Like I said, focus on your self-care time. It's a must, okay? Plan your days in advance and just try and stick to some kind of schedule. I didn't mention this, but I do think it's also important to have patience, yeah? Patience with yourself, your kids, and your progress. And just know your needs are also very important. Okay guys, so this brings me to the end of this episode of Victory Granted TV. Let me know in the comments below how you've been coping during this lockdown with these kids. What are some of your secrets to keeping them occupied and entertained and keeping yourself sane? If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and smash like. If you love it, just subscribe and share it. Once again, I'm Victoria Grant. You're amazing, and until next time, take care.